Hello, Scott Haskin here to talk about the song "O Come All Ye Helpless." This song was, the original idea didn't really work out. I don't remember what it was. I just remember that I didn't like it. And so I scrapped that and I started reworking it as the idea of how God became feared. And I thought, it's really interesting if you think of the stories in the Bible and you think about how the people would offer their crops to God, they would offer their animals to God. And I'm trying to play this out in my head logistically as I tend to do with things. And I'm picturing, here, God, here's 3 cows, or 3 of my best cows for you. But the cows don't go anywhere. God doesn't take them. So how long did they leave them just sitting there waiting for a sign from God? Did they stop feeding them? What happened? Or what happened when they offered crops that just sat in a pile and eventually rotted away? I would think that if I offered that to someone and they just left it there, then they weren't happy with that. They weren't wanting it. So why would I offer it again? If you give somebody a gift, let's say that you give them a gift of basketball tickets, and they're like, okay, and then you see them offering the tickets to someone else, or obviously they didn't like the gift, then why would you get them more basketball tickets? So it really started to develop from that concept and wondering, how that actually played out, because as far as I know, there's nothing that really explains that. You just hear about them offering, but you never hear like how it went afterwards. So, in my mind, the next logical step would be, well, they'd be pretty upset if, here's a gift and you're just leaving it sitting there. That's kind of rude and cruel. So why am I offering this? Why am I wasting my best crops and animals on somebody who's just leaving it sit there? And so they just got tired of it and they stopped, and then Jesus is born, and God obviously, is nurturing his son and doesn't have as much time for them, which would be understandable. So it just really kind of played out from that concept. And then of course, the voice of God was my voice, and then I twisted the audio with a program called Vocal Synth by a company called OutsideTheBox.Photo, which I typically work with their mastering and audio cleaning software. The mastering software I use for all of my projects is Aamzon, and the audio cleaning in this case that I was using typically is with RX. I didn't use RX much on this album because most of the vocal cleaning I could do with the IDC, or Instant Dialogue Cleaner by Audionamics, which we all know I will not do a podcast without. If you didn't know that, now you do. And so all the dialogue was clean with IDC, but whenever there's some weird audio or clicks and pops or things like that, I use RX4 Advanced by OutsideTheBox. I'm a few versions behind, but this does what I need it to do, so there's no reason to upgrade for me. But the vocal synth was a really fun thing to play with, and I just kind of layered in some different textures to give the voice of God, and then obviously I added some reverb to it as well. That was a lot of fun. That took me a while actually to find something that I was really happy with, and then sometimes when you add too many effects, the effects can really take over, and then the volume of the voice itself gets lost in that, and then you boost it up too much, but the effects are too much then for the audio. So it's a real challenge sometimes to find those balances. But in this case, I was able to do it within a few hours, and really was happy with the song. So that's this one, and we'll see you again.